Hello and welcome back everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I'm going to be making my very own container soil at home, easy and cheap. So a few weeks ago, I had some problems with strawberries and I've been having problems with my seedlings to start and all of that. And I believe someone told me in the comment section that it could be my soil. So I was sponsored by another subscriber to get a few bags of soil, which I have exhausted some of them already, and I have one left. So I purchased 2 bags of cocoa core, the expandable soil that I just showed you, which I'm going to be using in this video right now. So the first thing we have to do is to put the cocoa core or the expandable soil in a container big enough, because whenever it expands, it is going to be way more than what you are looking at now. And on the bag of this expandable soil, it did say 2 cubic foot. I can just imagine what it is going to look like because it is expandable. And after I poured the first set of water on it, I realized that this thing is going to be needing a lot of water. So I kept going back and forth, getting the water to put on it because I wanted to ensure that it was the right amount of water I'm putting on it, because I don't want it to be too soggy or saggy, if that's the right word, because it has happened to me in the past already and I totally spoiled my mixture and I had to strain it before using it. So now I am taking my time to pour a little bit of water each time to ensure that the cocoa core is broken down properly. I have a little piece left, so I'm putting it in this bucket right now to see if I can expand it, and then I'm going to be pouring it back into the wheelbarrow with the remaining expandable soil. All right, at this point, I've felt a few drops of rain and I have to get this soil covered because I do not want any extra water in it. So I'm putting a piece of board on top of the wheelbarrow, and I did put a rock on top of it, but the rock was so small, so I'm going to take it off and then I'm going to be putting a bucket. I only hope this bucket can hold the piece of board, that it does not become a projectile in the event of winds. All right, so while I'm waiting for the rain to come down heavier, I am going to be pouring out a bag of soil, the last bag of soil actually that I had left out of the ones I purchased, as I told you, for my subscriber. And the reason why I'm pouring it on this piece of blue tarp is because there is a lot of termites in it. So my peeps, this is what is happening with this soil that I bought at Walmart. There is a lot of termites in it, and it is not my first time purchasing soil looking like this. So before I use it with my cocoa core expandable soil, I'm going to leave it out overnight to see if the chickens can come in and eat out some of these termites by tomorrow morning, hopefully. And then I will continue with this little project. Give you all a little close-up shot so you can see them. I usually use rubbing alcohol in it, but I don't have a lot of rubbing alcohol to waste right now, so I'm just gonna have to improvise. Just allow these chickens to do what they want to do for the very first time. So now my peeps, I just came in this area to do some work and realized that I have this soil here in these containers that is not being used, and it is the same potting mix that I put in these containers recently. So I'm going to dump out this soil in the wheelbarrow so I can continue doing whatever I am doing. And yeah, I will let that soil stay until tomorrow, and maybe I could use it to do something else. So I'm gonna go ahead now and dump these out in the wheelbarrow. Look at this, my peeps. I saw two baby lizards already enjoying themselves with the termites. One of them went somewhere over there, or oh, it's coming back. See, he came back. I guess I won't have to wait on these chickens to help me out. Okay now. All right, so let me get this off the wheelbarrow and dump those soil in there right now. Guys, look at all these little baby worms in the soil I just dumped out. Can you imagine how rich this potting mix is going to be when I'm done with it? Yes, look, dozens of little worms all over in this soil. So I'm going to grab the other containers, dump it out, and then I'm going to be adding the nutrients in here, because the cocoa coir does not have any type of nutrients in it at all. All right, so let me grab those other few containers now. So now, I hope you all remember that biochar I made a few weeks ago, or should I say a few months ago. I am now going to be getting most of it to add to my potting mix. And the reason why I'm going to be adding this to my potting mix is because biochar's highly porous structure allows it to be absorbed and hold onto water and nutrients. By holding on to nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus, biochar prevents them from leaching out of the pot with the watering. This means our plants have more consistent access to the nutrients they need. Look at this biochar here. Look at it. It is so crumbly and nice. Now, it can also reduce the frequency and amount of fertilizer we need to apply to the soil. Another reason why I'm using the biochar is because I do not have any perlite, and like the perlite, the biochar low density and porous nature help to reduce soil compaction, which creates space between the soil particles. This improves aeration and allows plants' roots to grow and penetrate the soil more easily. So while it holds water, biochar also promotes better drainage, preventing the soil from becoming waterlogged and reducing the risk of root rot. I am now mixing in the biochar with the garden soil and my cocoa coir together, and then I am going to be adding some extra nutrients, because remember now, the garden soil is repurposed soil, and the cocoa coir does not have no form of nutrients in it at all, and we always want the best for our plants. So that is why I'm going to be adding some blood meal and some bone meal, and I haven't used these synthetic fertilizers for years. I just felt the need for it now because I am currently having some issues with my strawberries and my seedlings, so I am just trying something different to see if I can improve the soil, and then the soil will feed my plants. All right, now I need to add some more information in regards to what the biochar can do to our soil. So, the vast surface area and complex pore structure of biochar create an ideal and secure habitat for beneficial soil microorganisms and fungi. And you also earlier, those little wormies that I put in there, wow, they are so going to love this biochar. Now, these microbes form a symbiotic relationship with plants' roots, helping to break down organic matter and make nutrients more available for plants to absorb. My homemade potting mix is now ready to be used, but it does seem as if we are still going to get the rain. So let me now cover it, and I will resume hopefully tomorrow morning by the grace of God. Good morning, everyone. It is 7:01 a.m. in the morning. I had to come out early to take up my soil that I left overnight for the chickens or the lizard to get rid of the termites, because I realized it was not a good idea, guys, because if the rain had come, I would probably lost most of this soil, because when the rain gets on this, everything would be splattered all over the place. And now that the container soil is all ready to be used, I am going to take it out of the wheelbarrow and put it in some containers to ensure that I do not get a lot of water in it, and I will have it all ready to be used whenever I want it. So let me get these into some containers now. So guys, just to let you know exactly what I am doing, I poured out the remaining soil I have in this bag on a piece of zinc, because I really have to let those chickens come and dive in. Can you all see all of this termite? I hope you can all see them. And I'm also going to be pouring the soil that I have on the blue tarp on these 2 pieces of zinc as well. And I'm going to leave them here. So if the rain comes, I might lose a little bit, but I prefer to lose a little bit of soil than to have all of this termite in my soil and crawling around everywhere in my yard. God knows some of them is going to get loose, but I hope and pray that it doesn't cause any further damages. So I'm going to pour out the remaining soil on this now and just leave it here while I finish putting my container mix in the containers. So now here is the soil on the zinc, and I also added the 2 pieces of tarp at the front right here, so I can catch any soil that they scratch to the front section here. I might lose a little bit to the sides, as I said, but it doesn't really matter. And here they come, guys. Here they come. I'm just going to step away so that they can see the soil and come and dive right in. So in the meantime, I'm going to show you the soil that I have in the containers now. I have 4 5-gallon buckets all filled with my very own DIY container mix. When I was filling these 2 right here, it didn't seem as if I had enough blood meal and bone meal in them. So before I use any from these 2 white buckets, I might have to add some more in those 2. All right, folks. So now if you have not yet tried making your very own potting mix, you can go ahead, try doing it, because all I want is the very best for my plants. And as you can see, the little pieces of biochar greening in the soil, I can't wait to use it in my stackable planters, where I'm going to be growing my beets, onions, strawberries, and a whole lot of other leafy green veggies, maybe some Swiss chard, some bok choy, whatever. Yeah, this is very economical, it's very cheap, and it is very easy to use. So I use repurposed soil, some biochar that I made at home, and just 1 bag of the expandable soil. I believe I pay about $13 for it on Walmart, versus if I was to buy the potting mix for $9, you know, for 1 bag, or $6 for a bag. That would be very expensive. So as you all know me, I always love to go the cheaper route and easier route. Yep, so that is what I did. All right, so now, if this is your first time here, I am the Glazed Garden Girl, your creative cultivator over here in Zone 10, Florida. Y'all know my #1 priority on this channel is for us to save as much as we can, as we grow as much as we can. So if you are looking for ideas on how to save money while gardening, ideas how to create your garden, you know, different things I do over here in Zone 10, Florida, please be welcome. Be very, very welcome to come and join this great community. So at this moment, I want to thank all of my returning subscribers, and for my newest subscribers, welcome on board. I appreciate you loads. See you soon in another video.